What do we have at the foundation of the reading? Eight of Swords, Gemini energy at the foundation of the reading. Okay, right before the reading, I heard a lie can travel around the world and back again while the truth is lacing up its boots. Okay, so this is Mark Twain. Now, what I feel this is directly connected to is something that you are doing at this time. I feel that quite a lot of you are at this point in your life where you're beginning to succeed. You're starting to see some sort of movement, some sort of growth, or this is what's coming up. And this is all the result of you having done a lot of clearing work, whether this is things that you were dealing with within you, so mindsets, behavioral patterns, certain things that you had to overcome to be able to step into this space, and or it had to do with your environment, people, family members, toxic friends, toxic exes. And to be honest, it's probably a combination of all of these things. But what I'm getting here with this Eight of Swords is that there's somebody, or this could be a group of people that are feeling imprisoned by your success. Now, let me explain what I'm picking up here. It's as if what you are beginning to accomplish, they never saw coming. And because of this, they're feeling trapped within a lie, within a narrative that they created around who you are. It's as if to say, if the world begins to see you, how is this lie ever going to hold up? There's going to be some sort of exposure, which is what is making them feel like they have entangled themselves into a web. I feel that there's a group of individuals that you may not talk to anymore, or you have just distanced yourself and nobody really knows what you're up to. Nobody really knows what your life looks like. You've just cut off. You've become quiet. Maybe you've gone into hermit mode. And so when people begin to ask about you, maybe they're asking people that you have since distanced yourself from. And the people that are inquiring about you are none the wiser. So they're just asking people about you. And these people are creating some sort of multi-layered lie around what you are doing right now. And this is all because they cannot have these other people, so to speak, seeing what you're up to because there's something exposing about it. You could be at a point in your life where you're speaking your truth and it's making these people feel like the walls are closing in on them because I feel it's directly connected to them. What do we have at the sacral, please? What do we have at the sacral, please? Okay, Sun. We're going to take both of these. Sun and Wheel of Fortune. Okay, big energy. So this follows everything that I'm saying perfectly because this is the energy you're in. Honestly, I feel that you couldn't be happier right now, or this is the energy you're preparing to step into. It's an energy of complete success. It's as if all of these actions you have taken to rid yourself of some sort of toxic energies and really just focus on your highest good and potential is allowing this old creaky wheel, right, to finally turn. It's like you have finally removed some sort of energies and now, lo and behold, the wheel begins to turn, which is speaking metaphorically about you now being in flow to receive. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's all about good fortune. It's all about your destiny, aligning with different timelines, but it's all because you have made the necessary changes to actually get this wheel to turn. It could have been a lifetime of trying to get some sort of movement and you not seeing any sort of growth, or it just wasn't substantial enough. And it all comes down to the energies that you were entertaining. I feel for a lot of you, you could put this down to a handful of people that had some sort of negative influence on your life. And this Eight of Swords can also speak about where you may have been at one point in time. You felt imprisoned by this, but you also had to come to the point where Spirit needed you to see that the only person to blame for this, the only person to blame at this point when you become an adult for this wheel not turning is you. Because when Spirit is showing you clearly, hey, you got to get away from this person because they're toxic, they're trying to drag you down, and you don't remove yourself from that space, then who's to blame? You, right? But I feel that you finally made the move, or again, depending on where you are on this timeline, you're preparing to. And this sort of change, when it happens, is loud. And anyone who sees that you've gone through this change can easily pinpoint the reason why this didn't happen sooner. It puts a spotlight on these opposing energies. And this is why they are now trapped in this Eight of Swords that they once had you in. You know, the illustration here as well, it's quite profound because it not only shows us this sort of, well, it almost looks like a barren wasteland, these crows, it just looks dark, right? But you get a feeling from this. It evokes a kind of emotion, right? And I feel that this is where they're at. And look, there you are, Eight of Pentacles. So this is you now working inside of the space. The wheel is turning and things are moving. I'm also hearing something here about individuals, it could be one or two of these people being very jealous of what it is you have built for yourself. It's like you went away. Maybe you went away for a few years, nobody heard from you, and you just came back out with all of these new things that you have built quietly. Maybe you got your money up. Maybe you built a business. Maybe you learned some new skills. Whatever it is, you actually took the time to do it. And this is something we always hear. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just have to go into hermit mode, cut off from the rest of the world and work on yourself and then come back out. And usually when you come back out, everybody else who you had left behind is exactly where you left them. You have practically built an empire or you're on the way to doing it. Gemini, Leo, Sag. I'm also hearing something here about you quite possibly having some sort of intuitive hits or downloads. Maybe you're having dreams about, let's say, the people that are inquiring about you, and these people are intercepting those inquiries about you, right? Because maybe nobody knows how to get in contact with you. You could be having downloads about this, and I feel that you're spot on right now. It's like all of a sudden you have a memory about an individual that maybe you don't have any real problem with, and you know, maybe they're a family friend. They just pop into your mind out of nowhere. Maybe you've always had a nice relationship with this person, but the memory or the download or the dream, let's just say, is influenced by some sort of negative energy. Maybe your mind goes into a bit of a tailspin and you just go into a fantasy or an idea about this person inquiring about you to these people. And unfortunately, you pick up on that kind of influence. Now, when this happens, this can be incredibly frustrating, but you have to trust that in due time, everything will balance back out, right? It goes all the way back to the Mark Twain quote. These sorts of transformations that people go through, the one that you're going through, it's biblical. And there are specific ways that these sorts of things unfold. People like you, people who actually take the time to do this, are always used as a positive example by which other people can follow their lead. So you must have faith, especially at this time, because I feel that you are getting ready to hit another breakthrough, another level in the game is about to be made available to you. And this is something that I've been picking up in all of the most recent readings. It's like you're in the dip right now before you hit a major high in your energy. I also feel that you're going to start seeing and feeling an increase in your productivity. This is a kind of pre-shadow before you hit the next level in the game. I've been picking up in the readings that a soul tie or some sort of cord to you and these people has finally been broken. They can no longer harvest off your energy. And, you know, the most grounded way I can put how something like that can occur is by you still being tied up in these situations, emotionally speaking. And say you have gone through another level of your healing in recent days, and all of a sudden things just don't affect you anymore. You just get to a point where you could care less. Okay, so this is a really good energy to be in right now, okay? Just caring a whole lot less about what anybody thinks of you and the way you're moving. Even people who know none the wiser, just don't worry about it right now. There's not a whole lot you can really do about it, but you can, again, just have faith that the universe will rebalance everything because, as we know, what goes up must come down, and vice versa. And for these people, they're about to have a very hard fall while you have a very quick rise. And it makes sense that it's happening now because I don't feel it could have happened any sooner. Now you're prepared for it. Now you've gone through the transformation. Spirit is done working on you for this part of the journey. It's like Spirit is ready to put you back out in the world, so to speak. And this is their worst fear, because you don't even need to say anything. Your truth is in what you've built. And I also feel a sense of confidence from you. You know this. This is something that you have worked a lifetime to be able to achieve and just have that feeling. It's that feeling of realizing you don't need to defend yourself because your work speaks for itself. Wheel of Fortune at the solar plexus. Okay, so the solar plexus is all connected to your self-confidence. This is the power position, but with the Wheel of Fortune there, this is you saying to the world, hey, I can stand here in complete silence atop everything I've built, and that will speak for me. As we can see, it's like here you are on top of the wheel. You know, whenever I look at these angels, right? Those books that are open, like that one almost looks like a laptop. And it's like this one's looking in a book. And I'm thinking about the Mark Twain quote again. It's like all of a sudden people see what you've built and information starts to spread, right? Maybe online or just people. I'm just getting a social media vibe there, right? Yeah, look, there's that Eight of Pentacles again. So news starts to spread about what you've built. And of course, boom. Didn't they say, well, that doesn't line up with this? What was this person talking about? What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Four of Pentacles, Capricorn energy at the heart. Perfect. And what a follow-up, because the Four of Pentacles is all about wealth. It's all about stability. And it can also speak about holding back. But in the case of this particular energy, this has served you. It's like you've held back. You've just built your energy up. You've waited. And I also feel that depending on how these energies have been causing trouble for you in your life, there may have been a certain period of time that no one knew what you were up to. Maybe these people thought that they had defeated you in some capacity. And then all of a sudden, boom, here you are, right? Riding in on the white horse underneath the sun. Planting your flag in the ground, right? They're like, what? Where did you come from? It very much gives an individual who everybody thought was done, who everybody thought was down for the count, who is just going to fade out into obscurity that nobody would really hear from again. And if they did, maybe they'd be so down and out that there would seemingly be no hope for them. But I heard for a lot of you, that's exactly how it needed to be. This is when Spirit swooped in, gathered you up. I just heard as well that you were praying for a better life. You were praying for some sort of success, some sort of comfort, some sort of abundance. And then all of a sudden, this is what's unfolded. And it's only just now that you're beginning to realize that this had to unfold like this to get you to where those prayers were actually your reality. You could be just saying some prayer, right? Hoping for an abundant life, and all of a sudden your life starts to fall apart. And you don't know why, but it's all connected to that prayer. Because a lot of the times we don't even really see that there's so much around us that's holding us back that we're just so used to seeing it's just a part of the furniture, so to speak, that it's hard for us to really process or compartmentalize, rather, that it's that particular surrounding that's keeping us from the desire, from that prayer, from that dream. So when you call on Spirit, when you call on the divine and the universe to work in your favor, and it just so happens to be in alignment with your highest good, watch out, okay? Because the full force of the universe will begin to rearrange things in your favor. And at first, in some cases, that can be quite disruptive. It's a tower kind of energy. You almost feel like your life is falling apart, not realizing that it has to fall apart to be built back up again, because you may be living your life atop a very faulty foundation that maybe these people influenced. Now, there's going to be different groups of you, again, that are on different parts of this journey. Some of you are already on the other side, okay? And others of you may just now be starting out on this path. But whatever the case, this is the process by which your dreams actually become your everyday waking life. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we just happen to have card 0, okay, the Fool. Now, card 0 is obviously the first card in the tarot, and it's all about new beginnings. Now, exactly what I just explained, that is what we refer to in spiritual communities as the Fool's journey. It's all a part of this process. This is a fool's journey. And most people don't have what it takes to go through this, but not you. These people could never bring themselves to go through this process. They don't have enough faith. But make no mistake, the amount of energy they put into trash talking your name, I just heard it exactly like that, and focusing every single breath they take on what you're building is far more effort than actually taking the fool's journey. See, the fool's journey, even though it requires a crumbling of your foundation to be able to rebuild, it can go pretty quickly. It's just that first couple of steps where you almost feel like you're walking a tightrope. But once you're past that and you're in the clear, the rebuilding begins almost immediately. Now, each and every one of you is going to be different, so the time frame will change quite a lot depending on what it is you're going through. But there's a knowing, right? It's like even though you're going through what feels like a great struggle in your life, there's just something inside of you that is telling you it's going to be okay. And that's spirit. That's the divine embracing you, carrying you through it. What do we have at the throat, please? 7 of Swords, Aquarius energy at the throat. Now, everything we've mentioned in regards to these people and what they're doing behind your back, the trash talking, is the 7 of Swords energy, and it's right there at the throat chakra, okay? So here they are. Oh, yeah, they've become a real big loser. They're not doing anything with their life, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look, there's the Tower, okay? So we spoke about the Tower just a moment ago. Yeah, I just heard they're trying to steer the public opinion. I just heard, let them, okay? All they're doing is setting you up for an even bigger success, because when the universe sees what they're doing, the universe is like, oh, this is going to be good. Just wait. Just wait until we bring you back out on the scene. These people are going to be dumbfounded. And everyone is going to see them for who they really are. A flat-out hater. There'll be nothing that these people will be able to ever say or do again. This is the type of thing that ruins people's reputations for a lifetime. And I feel that these people you may be dealing with have been hanging by a thread anyway. They don't really seem like the most trustworthy people. I also don't feel that they're very likable. Okay, these are people that have probably caused a lot of problems in people's lives. And maybe you were just the first one to completely cut yourself off and disappear because you had enough. But your silence, and again, your faith and your focus, has all prepared you for what is about to take place. This is well-deserved. You've just learned to keep it pushing, to not argue with the enemy, because I feel that you've gotten to the point now where you see it's futile. There's no point. There's no point arguing with fools because they always win. Right? They're not looking for understanding. They're not looking for balance. What they seek is complete annihilation of you and every trace of you that has ever existed anywhere. There's something threatening about your truth, who you are, who you're becoming. It makes their blood boil. They're hating on you just for being great. And sure, a lot of it has to do with the fact that they put so much focus on you that they forgot that they need to be great too. That just speaks about being the greatest version of you, being great at what you do, whether that's building a business or just being a good person. There's zero focus on improving the quality of their own life. It's all been put into decreasing the quality of others' lives. What do we have at the third eye, please? The 7 of Swords can also be an energy that's very revealing, especially at that throat position. Sometimes when I look at the 7 of Swords, it's almost as if they're trying to undo what they've done, right? I'm just going to go ahead and put this back here. See, it's supposed to represent somebody doing underhanded things, doing something sneaky, right? Sneaking off with something, and this can show up in many different ways. But in this case here, it's just being underhanded about the things they're saying in regards to you, sneaking behind the scenes, injecting narratives about you. But sometimes when I look at this card, it's like they're ever so gingerly putting the swords back as if to say, oh, maybe if I just put this back, people won't see me for who I really am. Now, this is speaking directly on what I'm picking up here. People are about to see this person for who they really are. And maybe they're trying to do some sort of damage control before this happens. It's like they feel it. It's like they feel it coming through, right? I just saw the tower. So the tower, you can almost feel a tower when it's about to happen. What do we have at the third eye? Too many cards. 8 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Yeah, you're moving forward and they're in a 10 of Wands energy, 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands, having to lie in the bed that they thought they made for you and feeling burdened and weighed down by this. The energy around these people is very heavy. Their vibration also feels incredibly low. Whereas you're in the sun vibration, which the sun is the most high vibrational card in the tarot. So polar opposite energies here. What do we have at the third eye, please? Chariot, Cancer energy at the third eye. So there you are moving forward. Chariot card is also an energy that represents victory. It also speaks about self-control, okay, which is obviously something we've been speaking about here in regards to you just allowing things to unfold organically without the need to defend yourself. No matter how frustrating that might be, your faith is so strong, you're just allowing it to unfold in a divine order. And I feel a part of you as well is excited by this because it allows you to see how the universe works. It's like saying, wow, I read about this in scripture and it just unfolded in my life. It's true, right? Yeah, I just heard again for a lot of you, your story is biblical. It's like you were incarnated into this life cycle to run this particular karmic cycle with these people. Energies maybe within your family lineage needed to be transmuted. So there you are being incarnated into that family to get the energy moving, which is why all of this has unfolded the way it has. This is chain breaker energy. This is black sheep energy. This is chosen one kind of energy. You know, you break the chains, you become the black sheep, and then the black sheep typically becomes a kind of chosen one. I feel that that label is more something that makes more sense when people actually see what you've done, see what you've built. They start to understand. They're like, oh, I get it now. They were chosen by the universe to do this. It all makes sense. See, and that right there is the whole point of this, to awaken people to the higher order through you, little old you, right? I always say that we're incremental pieces of evolution, and this is a perfect example of just that. And that chariot's at the third eye, okay? So that to me is really speaking about your victory triggering a certain level of awakening for some people, right? People see what you're doing, and all of a sudden, their third eye just opens, right? They see things differently now. I just heard they're processing information in a different way. People see you for who you really are, and they most certainly see these people for who they really are. Everybody has their place and everybody has their purpose. And this is exactly what these people chose. And they chose this by the way they lived their life. These kinds of people know that karma exists, but the devil has whispered in their ear and told them that they are exempt from it. Think about it. Why do some people do what they do? How can some people engage in such evil acts? It's because something has come over them. It's like a form of possession. Something is said to them, this is what you're going to do. There will be no karmic consequences for what you're doing. And you might say to yourself, well, even if there wasn't karmic consequences for what they're doing, why would somebody want to do that? Exactly. It just goes to show how truly broken they are inside. They're ruthless. They don't care. They're unhealed. Who knows what they've been through that has caused them to get to this point. But this is why it's so incredibly important to do your shadow work, right? It's not just for you, it's for the world around you. Who knows what that unhealed trauma will eventually turn into? Why sometimes you hear about people completely losing themselves in their older age. It's like that spirit has just been feeding off of them for a lifetime, and then finally it just rages inside of them. They start acting out and doing all sorts of crazy things. This is what I'm getting from these people. It's gone on for so long, which is probably the entire reason why you had to finally disconnect and never look back, or even try to engage these people, because you knew that it was a futile effort. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. Okay, so we've been speaking about the Hermit card, and I feel that this is what a lot of you have literally done. You've gone into hermit mode. You've built an entire empire, whatever it is, okay, in this space. Maybe some of you have a dog that just keeps you company, or a cat or something, or you just have animals around you. You feel more connected to Mother Nature, which is all a part of going into hermit mode. It's in that space where you work on your connection with Source, with God, with Spirit, with the divine, with Mother Nature. That's what it's all about. You get back to the heart of things and what actually matters. What do we have at the crown, please? Perfect. Ace of Pentacles, Earth energy at the crown. Okay, so there it is, right? The scared beetle is representing you. It's this energy of rebirth. Here's your pentacle, right? So this is what you've been building. See the path here? It's like Spirit led you down this path. And this Ace of Pentacles, we see these peaks back there. The pinnacles of your success. It's like Spirit saying, hey, we heard your prayers. We heard it all. Okay? And we're going to make this happen. But to get you on this path, we're going to have to lead you through some pretty rough terrain. But we're going to be with you the entire time. And when you get out on the other side of this, you're not going to believe what your life looks like. But you have to have faith. You have to trust and just enjoy the journey. Because one day you will look back on this time and you'll be so grateful for having gone on it. So take notes. Be in the moment. Be here now, because it's all of this that will supply you with that story of you. It's a story for the ages. And you typically don't even realize it when you're in the middle of it. It's when you get on the other side and you look back and go, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe I went through that. This is what this is all about. This right here is representing your journey to greatness. Whatever this represents for you. This is a huge energy that I'm picking up for you. Sun, Wheel of Fortune, Chariot, Ace of Pentacles. And for them, 8 of Swords, 7 of Swords. And this 4 of Pentacles is representing your stability, everything you're building. And it's also an energy of wealth. And it's smack dab right there in the middle of the reading. So whereas the messages that I'm channeling through here are very deep, they're very profound. In the material world, the way everybody else sees it is this, okay? It just shows up as success, stability, completely grounded. But they don't see everything that you have gone through behind the scenes, that you were co-creating all of this with the divine. They just see the end result. It's like people coming to you and they're saying, oh, please, show me how you did it. Take my pentacle, please. And you're like, hold on, just form a line, form a line. What do we have at the foundation, please? Page of Pentacles, Earth energy at the foundation, right underneath that 8 of Swords. Now, the Page of Pentacles from this energy is representing them again, right? It's like they're showing up as this big wildebeest. You know, for a lot of you, I feel that when these people were in your life, this is how, it's like this is a feeling. It's like you couldn't manifest. It's like you couldn't get anything going with this big bozo energy in your life. You couldn't manifest anything when you had this heavy energy around you at all times. It's like trying to work on something. You're trying to build your life, and then this energy comes around Hey, what you working on, right? It's like a bull in a china shop. They're just knocking everything over, energetically speaking, but they do it on purpose. The Page of Pentacles is also speaking about you having missed out on probably quite a lot of opportunities when these energies were in your life. There was just a lack of progress is really what it comes down to. And you couldn't really focus on any sort of long-term success. There was a desperation, I feel, to the energy that surrounded you and them. And these sorts of energies are not able to be changed, right? They're not the kinds of energies that you can help or, you can awaken to truth because they don't care about truth. They don't respect your ideas and what you say, which makes me think that they were probably family, probably old friends, people that have always known you, right? And it's interesting how a lot of the times we can wind up in families with these people and they have zero respect for us. It's just kind of built in. But then on the other hand, we just expect that they would have our highest good in mind, right? Oh, they must want the best for me. By default, we're led to believe that. But I feel that you went down this path for a very long time with these people, and then finally you're like, you know what? I'm looking at things differently now. Because how is it I have made zero progress after all of this hard work and dedication and focus? It's got to be something external to me. And yes, you're right. It's both. It's internal and it's external. But I feel that you always have to address what's internal first, right? Because typically, once you take control of everything internally, then you have the strength to handle everything externally, and that sees you taking responsibility for it, no matter what the greater dynamics of the situation might be. In other words, all of your healing has gotten you to a point where you don't feel the need to argue about anything anymore. At the end of the day, you decide how your life is going to look, and you can quite easily remove yourself from any space that is not in alignment with your highest good, period. What do we have? The sacral, please. 8 of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the sacral. Now, this 8 of Pentacles is again picking up on their energy, okay? These are people that just lack ambition. I don't feel that these people have any skills simply because of where they have committed to putting all of their focus. It's like they're skilled at hating, right? They're skilled at talking trash. They're skilled at being envious. They're skilled at lying. They're skilled at being jealous. They're skilled at just being toxic. They're skilled at hating you because you want to be great. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. You just want to be the best you that you can be. And shouldn't everybody want to be that? These are the kinds of people that are unwilling to put any work into themselves. They are the kinds of people that will say things like, oh, it's too late for me now. It's too late for me to go through a big transformation in my life. And you know what? That's their decision to make. But that's not the problem here. The problem here is they decide that and then also decide that they refuse to allow other people to go through it. We always pick up this energy, crabs in a barrel mentality. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Ace of Wands, fire energy at the solar plexus. Yeah, so this just followed what I said, okay? They create obstacles and delays on your path. They try to weigh you down with all of this toxicity and drama because, like we said, they can't have other people going through the transformative process. They don't want to see other people succeed. And look, when this is family, this is very challenging to navigate through. They think that just because you're blood related, that they somehow get VIP access into your life, even when you haven't invited them. We're picking up on people who have serious, unresolved mental trauma. And, I was also picking up something before the reading about a lot of what you have gone through has seen you having to speak truth and just come to terms with things that maybe you have gone through in the past, things that you have seen. And this transformation you have gone through has gotten you to a point where you want to get all of that out of you, right? You want to heal that the best you can to be able to move on. And it could see you speaking truth. And then these people decide that they don't like your truth. They decide that your truth is a lie. No, that's not how it happened, right? Which is even more revealing because that's exactly how it happened. Their trauma has caused them to put up this wall that is built on a false sense of reality. And rather than allow you to live in your truth and say, you know what, you remember it that way, I remember it this way, whatever, that's fine. They come for you instead. They want to break you because they don't like your truth. I mean, that right there, that sort of reaction says it all. Just because their truth doesn't align with your truth doesn't mean it's not truth. It just means that the way you remember things is much different than the way they remember things. And there's no challenge to be had there because it's simply not something that can be proven at this point. And you know this. You don't even care. You're just trying to move on with your life. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Don't tell me what's truth. You're simply not going to take my truth away from me when you have done zero work on yourself. These are also the kinds of people that will tell you that you're sick, right? You're sick. There's something wrong with you because you're living in your truth now. See, they're living inside this false matrix. It's a false reality. They really are NPCs. It's like they're programmed one way to believe something, and they're too afraid to give it up because it would shatter this entire false reality that they have built their entire life around. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Knight of Pentacles at the heart position. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles from this deck is a stubborn energy. It's an energy that's completely stuck and resists any sort of compromise, right? So, which is what you came to understand. There was no compromise here. You can't have a healthy meeting of the minds, so to speak, with these sorts of people. They just are who they are. They think that their way is the only way, and that's it. It doesn't matter how much fact you could possibly ever show them. You're sick, they're not. You're a loser, and they're a winner, right? Even when their entire reality and world looks like this, right? And yours looks like this. You're sick, but you're under the sun on a white horse, and they're the best, even though they're blindfolded, tied to swords with 3 crows flying above their head in the middle of a barren wasteland. They cannot see what is right in front of their face. King of Cups. Water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces at the heart. Restitution. Okay, so it's interesting that we have this 4 of Pentacles here and then this King of Cups here because the illustration gives me the same kind of feeling. It's like here you are now, right, in this boss energy, and these people are like, please take my pentacle, please show me the way. And then even right here, it's like you're in this very emotionally balanced energy, just very stoic. It's an energy of emotional strength. And then this person's like, oh, please help me, please. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to, right? This could really speak about the future and where this may end up. You know, when it gets to a point where your rise is completely undeniable, they can't say anything about you anymore, that's gonna land, right? Whether or not this is just how they feel or they actually do this, you know, it's going to be different for all of you. I'm of the thinking that these kinds of people typically don't change, you know. I just personally haven't seen a whole lot of it in my own experience. The only person that's really changed in my reality is myself. But I'm sure that there's stories out there. There always is, of people that do change, you know, and all you can do is just hope for the best. But don't hold your breath. You know, it may not happen in this lifetime for these people. It might take until the next go around for them. But there's also this feeling with this King of Cups where this emotional strength that you now have allows you to also look at these people like you kind of feel sorry for them, you know, even when they're this evil and diabolical, right? They've formed all these weapons against you. They've talked trash behind your back. Eventually you get to a point where you start to see them as limited, right? They just don't see the greater dynamics of the universe, and they simply just don't see things the way you are, which, all things considered, is working for you. This works for you. What do we have at the throat, please? Six of Swords, Aquarius energy, right underneath that 7 of Swords at the throat. Now, the Six of Swords from this deck is your rite of passage, okay? It's also speaking about you moving on beyond the pain of this situation. For some of you, you could be relocating, traveling as well. This card can definitely speak of that, so place it as it fits. But I love this card because it almost looks like you're flipping off the past. You're like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care anymore. Screw you. F you, right? And you're just moving forward. I simply am not affected by your words anymore. Proof is in the pudding. Look what I have built and look where you still are. If you can't see that and use that as some sort of inspiration or motivation to do and be better, then c'est la vie. You are certainly not going to be entering into my life and tearing down everything that I have spent years trying to build. And at the same time, telling me that I'm sick. What do we have at the third eye, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the third eye? What do we have at the third eye? Queen of Pentacles, Earth energy at the third eye. Okay, so this just followed what I said because the Queen of Pentacles is emphasizing your stability, your security, everything you have built. It's undeniable. We've navigated this energy where we were talking about the rough terrain you have to go through to be able to get here. And this sees you atop that new foundation that you have built. Queen of Pentacles is also a very trustworthy energy. This is somebody who people look to, they look at their life and the way they live their life, the way they go about their day-to-day, and people see no reason not to be able to trust this person. It's somebody that's very reliable. If you need something, this is the kind of person that will be there to help you out, okay? And this is how people are looking at you. After all of this trash talk, you turn out to be the complete opposite from what these people, this person, whoever this group of individuals is for you, you turn out to be the complete opposite to what they were saying about you. And I just heard the fact that you didn't fight to be heard, right? Get up on people's faces and say, no, that's not true, is further confirming how strong your character is. It's like people saying to themselves, wow, they didn't try to fight them or defend themselves. They just let it be. The truth came out in the end anyway. They must have really strong faith. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit, to close out the reading? Perfect. The Hermit. Virgo energy at the crown. So we saw the Hermit on the bottom of, I think, this deck earlier on, and now we're closing the reading with the Hermit, which, quite honestly, this is the best card to close with after everything we've channeled through, because this all came down to something that you are building inside Hermit mode, right? It says right here, alchemy and transformation, rules, natural events, helps with spiritual progress. Word of God creating all. So this comes down to the fact that you followed your inner guidance. All of the questions that you had, you took to source and you got an answer. And whatever you were told, you followed precisely. And this is why you were able to build all of this. You are a perfect example of what it means to go into Hermit mode and to have a connection with source, however this is showing up for you. And this is why your story, your situation, is to be used as an example of what it looks like when people go through this sort of process. And that is why, taking us all the way back to the beginning of the reading, the truth will eventually come out because it's a universal law. So continue pushing forward and pay these opposing energies no mind. They know it's coming for them. It's just a matter of time. And what you have to look forward to is a direct reflection of your dedication to not only becoming the best you that you can possibly be, but your dedication for being that person for everybody else who comes in contact with you and the collective at large, because you understand you are an incremental piece of evolution and it matters. All right, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And if you would like to support my channel, there are a few ways that you can go about doing this. Of course, donations are always greatly appreciated, and I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who continues to donate to my channel. You can also visit my online store, which consists of things that I have designed myself that are all extensions of the creative universe that is my channel. And I would like to extend my gratitude to everybody who's already gone there and purchased items. You can also join the membership side of my channel. It's only $2.99 a month, and I upload bonus videos there that aren't available on the public side of my platform. Information for personal readings can also be found in the description down below. But lastly, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you and your path at this time. So please leave me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.